Hey, I am sitting with former WBA Welterweight Champion, Luis Collazo. Man, it is an honor to have you join our church today via video. Man, can you just tell us a little bit of how you got started in your journey with boxing?
Well, I started at an early age. I started when I was 10. My dad was a big fanatic of the sport. And, you know, if it wasn't for boxing, I wouldn't be here speaking to you right now. Because at an early age, when my parents got a divorce and I was going nowhere fast, I got bitter, I got angry, started selling drugs at age 9, started smoking weed at 9 as well. And I was just running with the wrong crowd. I didn't have a positive role model to look up to. My dad was an alcoholic at the time because of the divorce from my mom, so he didn't take it very well. And my older brother, he was a drug dealer at the time, so that was the only outlet that I had to look up to. And it just kept going the wrong way very fast. And I'm just grateful for for boxing for helping me out.
So boxing became like an outlet for you.
Absolutely.
And a protection.
Yeah.
So you learned some great things, you kept in great shape, but also kept you from some other journeys that some of your family members have gone on, and you didn't go down that same sad journey.
It's amazing because when I first started, I didn't like it. You know, I was more into baseball, and as time kept going, I started growing into the sport, and now I love it, you know, 25 years later.
Now, you got a lot of tattoos. A lot. How many tattoos do you have?
Overall, I say 1 because I'm just covered, but it might be over. I probably sat down in a tattoo chair maybe over 50 times.
So someone can look at you from the outside. Look at this boxer, he's all tatted up. You know, is this guy? But you have something special that happened in your life a few years ago. You started a relationship with Christ. Tell us about how that went down.
You know, in 2012, I suffered a labrum injury in my right shoulder that kept me out over a year. You know, I had to go over therapy and recovery. And that period of time, I was just partying, drinking, and living a dark life. And it got to one point that I just got to a depressed stage, living in a dark world. And I don't know, I just felt lonely, and even though I had everything to work and offer, but I felt lonely. I had a hole in my heart that nothing can fill. Pulling away from my family, from the thing I love, boxing, my kids. And you know, one night I cried out to the Lord, like, God, please, if you can change the way I feel, I'll change my life and I'll give my life over to you. That's why I say the power of prayer is so amazing, because the following day I woke up with so much joy. I just wanted to be around everyone, and I said, you know what? God delivered, so I'm gonna deliver right back. And I've been saved for over 3 years, and this is the happiest I've ever been.
Yeah, it's so awesome. Awesome. God's been doing something in your life, right?
Absolutely. It's been totally amazing. You know, I have less than what I had before, but I have so much more.
Oh, that's so good. You have less than you had before,
yes,
but you have so much more.
Why? Because the world, everything in the world has an expiration date. But everything that God gives is eternal, is forever.
Yeah, now tell us about your family.
Oh man, my family, you know, I have 2 kids, my wife, my dad, and my mom, 2 grandkids. You know, at an early age, when I was living crazy in this world, I had relations when I was 13 with an older girl. And I didn't really find out until 4 years ago.
Wow.
She found me through social media. She said, oh, I think you're my dad. And we took a DNA. It came out 99.9 positive. And it's amazing how God works, because I'm gonna be saved in 4 years, and 4 years ago, this is when I find out that I might have a 21-year-old. And you know, she's in my life, and my grandkids are in my life, and I'm telling you, the last couple of years have been the most amazing years of my life.
Yeah, I was reading on you a little bit on the way here, and you know, you faced some difficulties when it came to boxing, or some, looks like bad calls, bad judgment calls. How do you rise back from that? How do you after you get a bad experience or something like that? How do you then say, I'm gonna keep going with this?
I dwell a lot in the past on those losses, and I don't know. God's plan is so amazing because I don't know how I got over it. That's why I like to say, you're not gonna understand what's going on right now. If you have an up and down, or you're going through a trial, we all have a season. We just gotta believe. Put that faith on fleek. I always say that. Is your faith on fleek? Because it's easy to say you have faith when you're not going under trials. But now when you're going through it and you hold on to His word, standing firm through the storm, that's when you know you have that faith. That's why I say faith got to be on fleek.
In the movie Creed, there's a line where, Creed's son refuses to use his dad's name, and his girlfriend says this expression, "You've got his name, use it." I think that's so appropriate for us as Christians. We've got His name. We're Christians. We're children of the Most High God. We ought to use that wherever we go. We ought to use that when it comes to sickness or loss or discouragement or even depression. We ought to be able to say, no, I'm a child of God. God's got more before me than the enemy does behind me. What's your hope for your life in the next 5 years?
Oh man, it's going to be endless. Like His promise is going to stand. I say GPS. God's promise stand. He's my navigation to my destination. And
say that again. He's my
navigation to my destination.
That's good.
And I truly believe that He's not going to leave us, man. And His promise stands. It truly stands. And I'm just grateful that He forgave me for my sins. And here I am. I'm cleansed and new in Christ.
You can look Church Unleashed and you could see people on TV, you can see boxers, you can see pro athletes, whether it's football, all these environments, basketball, hockey. But I'm so thankful that we have Christians in those industries, in those sports, because we need that light. And we want to tell you, we're going to be praying for you.
Thank you.
We believe God's got a plan and a purpose for you that's far beyond what you can even see today. We call that at our church full redemptive potential. What God takes you from, what God brings you through, but ultimately what God calls you to. Too many people get stuck in what they're going through, and they don't see their destiny that God has in front of them. And we believe if you can stay humble as you are, if you can keep your eyes on Christ, God's going to take you places you can never, ever take yourself. Luis, thanks for joining us today, man. We appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you soon.